Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Is your mic good though? Okay. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Monday. Okay. For those just coming in, please silence your phones and make sure you stay on topic on what the sheriff is asking.
About 30 seconds out. Jeff?
So first of all, let me thank y'all for coming out. And I want to thank you for the public's patience, and I'm going to tell you why. Today, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is releasing information regarding the circumstances of Lakean Wood's arrest on Friday, September 29th, 2023, near Toledo Road and Powers Avenue. Since Friday evening, cell phone camera footage of this incident has been circulating on social media. The circulation of this cell phone camera footage has caused outrage amongst some in our community. JSO immediately began an administrative review of the involved officers' actions. And while this incident remains under administrative review, we are releasing the body-worn camera footage today to the significant public interest surrounding this incident. Transparency, as I've said before, is the foundation on which the trust is built and by which the police and the public partnership is cultivated. As such, it is a cornerstone of this administration. As JSO's leader and as a proud servant of this community, I have vowed to be forward-facing and open with the public that we serve. Whether the information shared reflects well in this agency or not, I have since my election told the public exactly what is going on within this agency. When there are allegations of officer misconduct, our agency thoroughly investigates those allegations. And when allegations of officer misconduct are sustained, we hold officers accountable. Accountability for officer wrongdoing is essential. However, equally essential is speaking up when our officers are wronged. Some of the cell phone camera footage that has been circulating since Friday does not comprehensively capture the circumstances surrounding Wood's arrest, and that is to be expected. Part of that stems from the distance and perspective of the recording cell phone camera. Another part of it stems from the fact that the cell phone camera did not capture the events immediately preceding Wood's arrest. Moreover, cameras can only capture what can be seen and heard. So much context and depth are absent from recorded footage because a camera simply cannot capture what is known to the people depicted in it. As a 32-year law enforcement officer, I understand the importance of thorough and complete investigations that are led by facts. One piece of evidence considered in a vacuum devoid of context and other information can lead to faulty and dangerous conclusions. When incomplete cell phone camera footage becomes the basis on which public opinion turns, the results can be equally faulty and dangerous. A rush to judgment, whether it be in a criminal investigation or in the court of public opinion, can lead to serious errors in judgment, errors that can have long-lasting consequences. On Saturday, I publicly stated that we were investigating the circumstances of Wood's arrest and the allegations of inappropriate use of force by involved detectives. However, I'm speaking out today, even with the investigation still pending, because it's now clear that some of the circulated cell phone camera footage has been intentionally altered to imply that one of the detectives kicked a handcuffed Woods. Body-worn camera footage and unedited versions of the cell phone camera footage on social media definitively indicate that this detective never kicked a handcuffed Woods. While a rush to judgment is dangerous, the intentional distribution of manipulated video is shocking, unacceptable, and frankly immoral. The only logical conclusion that can be drawn by the production of such altered video is that its creator or distributor had a personal agenda seeking to incite community rage against police officers, and very easily could have been violence. Tonight I want to share known facts so that the public has a more complete understanding of this incident. My hope is that by openly sharing both information and body-worn camera footage, the misinformation campaign on social media will be stamped out by the truth. There was force used by arresting detectives, and yes, that force is ugly. But the reality is that all force, all violence is ugly. And just because force is ugly does not mean it is unlawful or contrary to policy. Now Mike Schell, the Chief of Professional Standards, will deliver the currently available information. Mike?
Thank you, Sheriff. Let me begin by sharing with you some background on Woods, information that was known by detectives when they attempted to apprehend him. Woods is a 24-year-old affiliated with local, undocumented group that has been connected with violent crimes, narcotics distribution, and firearm proliferation. He's been recorded in drill rap videos with documented group and gang members. In 2018, Woods was arrested for murder stemming from a homicide in Tallahassee, Florida. Woods pled guilty in 2022 to an amended robbery charge pertaining to that murder arrest and is currently on felony probation. After observing Woods engage in a drug transaction at a gas station on Powers Avenue, detectives stopped the vehicle in which Woods was riding as the front seat passenger. As you will see in the following portion of footage captured by the body-worn camera worn by one of the detectives, the driver and back seat passenger immediately complied with police directives and were taken into custody without incident. A firearm was found on the back seat passenger's person, and significant quantities of multiple narcotics, including methamphetamine, fentanyl, cocaine, and oxycodone were found in the truck. In this footage, you will see Woods flee from the front passenger seat and take off running. After Woods fled from the front passenger seat of the truck, a detective ran after Woods, repeatedly commanding Woods to stop. Ignoring police commands, Woods continued running. The detective then yelled to Woods that if he did not stop, he would be tased. Woods continued running, and the detective armed himself with his agency-issued taser. The detective deployed the taser once, and the device appeared to have no effect on Woods, who continued running. The detective then deployed his taser a second time, which appeared to immediately cause Woods to experience neuromuscular incapacitation. Woods immediately stopped moving and fell straight forward, hitting his face on the pavement. This impact immediately caused visible abrasions, bleeding, and swelling. When the detective attempted to take Woods into custody, Woods continued to resist arrest. While that detective was struggling to gain Woods' compliance, another detective arrived and assisted in gaining control of the resisting Woods. While Woods was unhandcuffed, the second detective kneed Woods in the upper torso and head area to gain compliance. Based on body-worn camera footage, it appears some of those knee strikes may have had contact with Woods' head. During the struggle, other gang unit detectives arrived to assist. These detectives ultimately overcame Woods' resistance and handcuffed him. Once handcuffed, but prior to being thoroughly searched and the handcuffs being properly tightened, Woods moved his secured hands back towards the area of his right front pants pocket. A detective repositioned Woods and directed him to stop moving. Woods was then positioned in an upright, seated position, and paramedics were called to the scene. Rescue responded and transported Woods to an area hospital for medical treatment. Woods was absentee booked on multiple criminal charges associated with this incident, including armed trafficking in methamphetamine, armed trafficking in cocaine, armed possession of a controlled substance, and resisting an officer. Once Woods' new local criminal charges have been disposed, he'll be transported to Leon County, Florida, to resolve his probation case in which he currently is on active probation. The altered cell phone camera footage, which is circulated on social media, depicts a detective kicking a handcuffed Woods. Body-worn camera footage, along with unedited versions of the cell phone camera footage on social media, both definitively evidence that the detective never kicked a handcuffed Woods. We will now show several portions of available body-worn camera footage from this incident.
Here, we can just call him back to us. Let me see your hands. All y'all's hands. Turn the truck off. Yeah, 335. Let me see your hands, driver. Call it out. Yeah.
HJ 707, it was 1033 for Justin. We're doing a felony takedown in Kensington Square apartment.
8202.
Oh yeah, 1033. 707's gonna be 8204 Kensington Square. Yep.
Hey, G, we got one running, all black, all black. Don't you fucking move. Hey, show me your hands, driver. Show me your hands. All black, black hoodie, black pants. I got like 3 here, so. Hey, we'll do an L formation on them so I can see who else is in the car. Who else is in the car? Who else is in the car? Nobody?
Where they at?
Yeah, there's 2. Comfortable pulling them out? Huh? Do what? You have a gun on you? Okay, well, if you drop, I appreciate you telling me, but if you drop your hand, you're gonna get shot. You understand? All right, so keep your hand. Red shirt, do you have a gun on you? Okay, being that you don't have a gun, you're gonna stay put where you're at, okay? Do not move. All right? On the outside of the door, open the door. Do not tuck your hands below the door. Keep your hands up. Thank you for telling me. Is your last name Wilson? You Raymond? Okay. Just keep your hands up. I see the gun. Walk to me. Do not drop your hands. Do you understand? Do you have lethal
give us some updates. Y'all need us to move normal direction of travel. Stay out here yet? Sure, 57 close now.
You got a 0?
Yeah, 537 I'm in the area.
Sit down and ground for me. You got anything else? Over to you. Cross your legs. Cross your legs. All right, here. We can walk in back to me.
87, so it's gonna be 8204 Kensington Square.
This is the footage of the second officer on the other side of the vehicle.
You're fucked. You're fucked. You are so fucked. Stay on your stomach. Put your hands behind your back. You're gonna get it again. Mike, you're gonna get it again. Put your hands behind your back.
Gonna be 8204.
Hey!
Kensington Square.
You hear me? Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Keep them back. Put your hands behind your back. You're gonna get tased here.
920, Zone District 3 Task Force units.
Give me your hand.
Y'all give us some updates. Y'all
Behind your back, goddammit.
direction of travel. Stay out here yet? That's 57 close now.
Put your hand behind your back.
Yeah, 537 in the area.
Get your hands behind your back. Hey, give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Hey. Hey. Give it. Give it. Give me the hand. Give me the hand. Ow. Still fighting. Give it. Give it. Give it. Fucking hold it. Give it a hand. Hey, stop pulling. Quit pulling. Give me your hand. Yeah, give me. Fuck, he's still fighting. Yeah, there we go. Here comes on. Here comes. Got it? No. No. Yeah, yep. You got it. Woo.
466, Kensington Square. Jason, where are you? Nothing.
Stop now.
Sliding.
So it's pretty unbelievable, disheartening to have to announce that social media is not reality. Its content is not fact-checked by any entity. Because of this misinformation campaign by the anti-police fringe, our agency has come under fire and individual detectives' lives have been threatened. This intentionally misguiding manipulation of facts is wrong and dangerous, and I will not remain silent while the truth is buried to advance a particular agenda. The truth is Woods sustained facial injuries when he fled from police and was tased, fell face first onto the concrete. Detectives struggled with him, and as I stated before, they used strikes to gain control, but he continued to resist arrest. The outcome of Woods' apprehension contrasts with that of his friends in the truck, who immediately complied with police and suffered no physical injury. Force looks ugly, as I stated before, because all force is ugly, not because the detectives engaged in misconduct. And based on the currently available information, the agency believes that the involved detectives acted appropriately with respect to the law and JSO policy. When an officer does wrong, I'll stand up here and tell you straight. I'll be honest. When a person hiding under the anonymity of the internet does wrong to an officer, I will also stand up here and tell you. And effective immediately, a critical incident briefing of this incident itself, which includes portions of the detective's body-worn camera footage, is available on all JSO media platforms and YouTube. Additionally, complete versions of all detectives' body-worn camera footage is available or will be very soon on JSO's transparency page. And I urge members of the public and the media to review both this briefing and the body-worn camera footage for more complete understanding of the nature and circumstances of Wood's arrest. And I'll take any questions if you guys have any.
Sheriff, I was trying to, Scott Johnson, Channel 4, I was trying to understand what I saw as far as the manipulation. Did they move the person's foot closer to the body in the manipulated video? Is that what I was seeing?
Yes,
It's
so
hard to follow.
it was shot, and what we tried to show you at the end, I don't know if we can get back to that still shot, but what we tried to show you at the end was the officer actually, his right leg, it looked like he was either stretching or he hurt it. So we did this for a couple of times, and then he turned around. When he turned around, he just did this, and it looks like the video was reversed to make it appear he had kicked the individual. So there's a cell phone that's sitting very close, in close proximity, about 6 or 7 feet away. If you see where that officer is, first you see no movement of the suspect's head because he wasn't kicked. But if you see where that officer is, he couldn't have reached him with the movement of his leg, which is the disappointing part. We've gotten some really weird calls up at our dispatch center, and we just want to get this out, make sure people understand. Like I said, it's not beautiful to look at. It never is. When you're in the trenches and you're doing this kind of work, it's not easy, but it's definitely necessary for us to do.
In the arrest report, it said that he continued kind of reaching for his waistband.
Mm-hmm.
Did he have a weapon on him, or did it just appear?
Well, there's the unknown, Scott. There's the unknown. The problem is, it's very easy to always go back and look and say, oh, he didn't have a weapon. But at the time, they had already seen a drug transaction. They knew he had a gun in his pocket. They had no way of knowing that he had transferred the gun to another individual inside the car. So when they're going through this and they're asking for his hands, they're trying to make sure that he's not reaching around to grab something. And I don't know if you've ever tried this or not. You take 3 or 4 guys. If a person wants to resist, it's very difficult, especially when you're trying to use tactics and not wail away and do things you shouldn't do.
Sheriff, what is the current status of these officers that were involved with this by chance here?
They are working today, as they should be.
What was your reaction when you saw his mugshot with those injuries to his face?
I mean, when you see injuries, you know that there was an issue. So you look at the video and you see when you face plant on concrete, that created some serious injuries. So you say, I need to look and find out what happened, see what happened. I probably got tagged so many times on social media with that, which is fine. I'm good with it. And we got started right away. So thanks for tagging me. But at least tag me with proper information that's not misleading. Because this is an important subject to me. The easy way to start a riot is you start misleading people with information, and then before you know it, things can spin out of control. So we didn't want that to happen.
Sheriff, as of a few hours ago, family members and legal counsel for them are saying they plan a demonstration in front of the police headquarters tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We don't know if this will change that or not. Anything to say if they do plan on still protesting?
No, they can. I mean, they're free to protest. Protest peacefully. We don't want any violence. We don't want any issues. Don't throw things. Just you're free to do whatever you want. This is America, right? You have the right to protest. So protest if you like. Just make sure it's peaceful. That's what I would ask.
We've spoken with his family members who say they haven't been able to speak with Mr. Woods. Is there a reason behind that?
Other than him being under arrest, I don't know what stops him from that point. But he is currently under arrest.
Was Woods and or any other individual involved here the specific target of the surveillance that was happening on the Toledo Road area, or was this a...
So if you'll remember when the 3-year-old was murdered. So they had a standing order from me, let's get out on the streets and try to find out what happened. And they're looking at some things involving some groups. This just happened to be a group that crossed paths with someone we were looking at. Not only that, he is a documented POI, or person of interest, of hanging with a particular group. And During that time, they saw this transaction take place. They saw what appeared to be a gun on the side. They did not engage there because you never know what's going to happen, and you don't want to endanger people in the public needlessly. So they waited to get away to conduct a traffic stop, and you saw what unfolded.
Sheriff, this is a quick turnaround on releasing body-worn camera footage quicker than typically would be. Does this jeopardize your investigation here or your potential prosecution?
I don't think that it does, Scott, but it's worth it to get it out for the public to see, fully what actually happened. So to stave off any further public unrest or unrest from our community, I think it was worth putting out as quickly as possible. So we'll see what happens from there. Anything else?
We received an unredacted arrest report that says there was no gun found on him when he was handcuffed. So you're saying that that gun was in the car?
I don't know if you missed that part, but apparently he passed that gun off to the back passenger who had it. And I can't stress enough, right? When we're asking for compliance, not that we're the ultimate masters of the universe. That's not what we are. But driving in the state of Florida is a privilege. If you decide that you're going to drive in the state of Florida and you get stopped by the police, compliance is necessary. And I think for anyone that would like to say that we just want to hurt young men or young black men in our community, there was two in that car, one with a gun in his waistband. You see how easily and how successful it was to take him into custody without issues? What happens is when you raise it to a level where it turns into foot chases and you fight, then you have these unfortunate circumstances. That's why that stuff happens.
Sheriff, family members have reached out to us saying there might be more video of him having his head shoved into the ground. Do you know anything about that?
There's going to be plenty of video. There's going to be plenty of video coming out outside of that, what we want to show you, and all that stuff's in there. Everything for everyone to see is in there. We wanted to get the kick out. We wanted to let you see the traffic stop, and everything else is in there. So you'll be able to see it on YouTube and everything.
Just to follow up to my question about him being under arrest and he said he wasn't able to contact family members, does he not get forwarded phone calls from being under arrest?
I don't know. We have to find out for you. I mean, he's under arrest in the hospital or at the hospital.
So currently he's in the hospital, he's not back.
The last I checked, he was at the hospital. We'd have to find out. Anything else? Thank you.